All right, so taking a little bit um, more detailed look at what I'm talking about with the column and its specs and how that functions. Right here, and I know it's a little bit hard to see because it's a little pixelated, but extra small is less than 576 pixels. So when your window gets to less than 576 pixels, that's and you have your code written specifically for a class that is encounters or gives it some specifics on extra small, then that will take hold when it is less than 576 pixels. Small is greater than 576 pixels, but no bigger than medium, which is 768. So in other words, between 576 pixels and 768 pixels. Large is 992 and extra large is 1200. So in other words, as you're writing these, and that's what we're going to do right now, is do a multiple column layout. This particular file is the 0304. So go ahead and open up that index.html file from the 0304. Again, please make sure that you define your root folder so that all the accompanying files and everything are in there so that you have what I have on the page. All right, so opening this up, let's take a look at what I'm talking about. We're going to go into the sections, all of the section tags, and right now, currently what we have is we have the column small 6 in every single one of these. So I'm going to go in here, select all of them as I've been doing. So I'm just going to go ahead down here and select them all so I'm not having to type every single one all the way down. And then I'm going to go ahead in and add, once I have all those sections. Now, if you can't, select all the sections at one time, then you'll have to go in and type all of this in separately in every single section. But I'm going to add a class of medium and make that 4 column width. So anytime we get to the medium breakpoint, then every single one of these would be 4 column width. So that's written with a space and then COL hyphen MD hyphen 4. And so now every single one of these, as you saw it change down here, every single one of these has a class of columns. And the small breaking point is 6. And then the medium, when we reach that, is 4. So that, in other words, this is going to be 4. This is going to be medium from 768 and above is 4. That's why at this 1200, as wide as I have my window, that I'm looking at 4 column width. When I get to small, as I get down here to small, which is right here, remember I said 576 or above, now we have a 2 column, so it's 6 columns that each one of those is taking up. And then when I get to below 576, you see it's 1 single column. So that's what you're looking at to set up the grid. You have to think about where do you want your breakpoints and how do you want this to appear on a tablet, on any kind of mobile device? What do you want it to look like on a phone? How wide is the phone? So, if the phone is below 576 pixels, then you probably want a single column so people can scroll through that. However, if you're looking at it on an iPad, well, what do you want that to be? Maybe you want to put something else in here for medium as far as, the breakpoints go. All right, let's look at add some other section tags to this. We'll do the column large and we'll put in 3 for this one. So once again, in front of each one of these, let's go ahead and do column and we'll put in a large. Oops, I want to select all of them so I'm not doing it all at the same time. Or so I am doing it all at the same time, not so I'm not doing it all at the same time. All right, so every one of those is selected. And then I'm going to do a space and put in COL. We're doing the large 3. So it's going to be COL hyphen LG hyphen 3. So now when you get to the large screen, this is what it's going to look like. It's going to fit into this, where each one is going to be 3 columns wide, no longer 4. As I break this down and I close my window, you'll see as soon as it snaps, as soon as it gets to that 768, now I have that 4 column grid because I have that in here. Medium is 4. So anything, as soon as I get to this 992 right here, it's going to snap back to now 3 columns within that grid. All right, we're going to do one more. We'll add on the extra large and see what that looks like. So once again, I'm going to go ahead and select all of these, and then we'll go ahead in there and type in extra large. I normally can select these a little faster, but my fingers aren't as nimble as they used to be. All right, let's see, we're doing extra large, right? So we're going to do COL hyphen XL hyphen 2. And now you'll see when we open this up to extra large. Oh, I put equal here. That's why I'm not working. Hyphen. Okay. So now, let's see, we have column XL2, and then column now, it appears I can't get as wide as I want to get in this window here. Maybe on your computers you can. I can try previewing it in a browser here. See if I can open this in Safari and see if it gives me a wider. It's still not quite working how I want it to appear. And that just leads me to letting you know that you know, when you're working in this any kind of, you know, web design, that you need to go in and test it on every single browser so that you can make sure that it's appearing how you want it to appear. Make sure you look at it in Safari and in Firefox. Oh, this might be the problem here too. Did I do that in all of them? I put a, let's see. Oh, that's why. About a little bit of a code problem, that's why. But this helps troubleshooting, so it's not the browser window, it's me. All right, I put, for some reason, a equal sign there. That's not good. All right, so here we have now extra large is column span is 2. So each one of these takes up 2 columns. All right, when I break this down and I start closing this up, I'm going to get to the large, where each one takes up 3 columns. And then I'll get to the medium, where they take up 4 columns. And as I close it a little bit further, and we get to the small, now it just below the small, so below 576, now it is 1. So that's how you can control your grid. The 6 column was right here. Once we got to below the 570 or below 768 there. All right. So you can see here in Dreamweaver that this is where I'm eyeballing it at. So when I get to my 576, 768, 992, 1200, so I know what size my window is and what that is going to look like as I close and open the windows. All right, we'll go on to the next video and we're going to do offsetting